What's going on, ladies and gents? Rocco Brown here from mygamingjourney.com, and we are back with another 1v1 on the ranked ladder. At the time of this recording, I was a gold 3. My opponent was a gold 3 as well. If you are new here, I'm primarily a House of Lancaster main. That's the main civ that I primarily play. I also play a little Japanese, a little bit of Ottoman, and I play some English as well. But primarily from all of the replays that you will come across, and I'm sure you've seen on the YouTube channel, have all been House of Lancaster replays. So with that being said, let's dive into the game and let's see what we're working with and we're up against. So my opponent is a Japanese player, or I should say playing the Japanese civ, and I am on, I think this is this Hillendale? Neither here nor there, not important. But naturally, what's going on is I am headed over towards my opponent. I'm doing some scouting, just trying to grab some sheep in the process. And primarily, what I like to do is rally all of my initial villagers onto sheep. I then rally the next 3 over to gold, and then rally the remainder of my villagers over to food up until I'm able to age up. So that's what's going to occur, and that's what's taking place here and now. So one thing that I always like to try to check out with Japanese players is naturally they have access to samurai early, and some Japanese players, of course, do like to open up with barracks and start putting on some early pressure. So being that this map doesn't have the closest spawn distance, I really wasn't worried too much. And that's kind of my thought process. But had the map been a tad bit smaller and the rush distances were a little bit closer, I would have headed over to my opponent's base a lot quicker just to see if he was opening up with a barracks and trying to come and apply some early pressure, to say the least. So, walked away with a few sheep so far. What are we at? 5 sheep. Speed up a little bit just to see what's going on. And go from there. So I see my opponents on berries. Naturally, I see him on some stone as well. Now, yet again, that may be a telltale sign for someone who's a little bit more seasoned, i.e., diamond level players, conqueror level players, even some of you who are gold that may understand things a little bit better than myself, you know what I mean? But seeing an individual on stone a little bit earlier on, from a Japanese standpoint, wasn't anything to me that really signified much. Like, I didn't see a lot of villagers on stone, so naturally I wasn't anticipating that he was pulling for a second TC at that moment in time, as you can imagine. But I know Japanese, the Civ also gets gold from when they mine stone, and then vice versa. They mine gold, they get stone. So it could have been a combination of him having, some on stone, some on gold, in preparation to drop a second TC after he aged up. So at that point in time, I didn't think much of it, but that was my thought process. I was like, well, maybe he could be trying to gather stone early for another TC, or maybe he could be trying to gather the stone needed so that when he drops down his outpost or the defensive tower, I think you need some stone to actually upgrade that. So that was my thought process at the time. Right or wrong, that's where my head was at. So currently, I take my 3 gold villagers, I use them to age up. I rally some onto wood, as you can see, and then I'm rallying my next 2 over onto stone. I believe I did this game. Ideally, I wanted to get as much of my stone as possible, and ideally I was only looking for about 300 worth of stone, just so I could at least drop down 3 manors. That was the thought process. So I'll rally and I'll have 6 on stone, 6 on wood right now, 3 on gold. I'm gonna drop down this first manor right now, and we'll be pretty good to go soon enough. So that manor will drop down. The 3 who are building that manor will slide back over to the gold vein, and then I'm going to pull my stone villagers off of stone the moment I get about 300. I think I'm gonna move them over to gold. So let's speed up a little bit more and let's see what's working. and taking place at this point in time. So I'm headed back over to my opponent's base. I feel like I did a decent chunk of scouting, just to have an idea of what's taking place at this moment in time around the map. And my opponent is aging up with the core storehouse. Now I'm just trying to scout and get around his base just to get an idea of what is occurring. So, slow that back down for a second. Let's see what's going on. So now I'm trying to drop down a little bit of production. My thought process, what I want to do, I want to get to a fast castle, or at least hit castle faster, to say the least, right? So 3 manors are down, and voila, my opponent did end up going with the second town center. So that early stone was basically what I anticipated it to be. Use that towards a town center. And at this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm in a favorable position because I'm not looking at any sort of pressure. And now I'm going to start basically pushing towards castle at this point. So 15 on food, 8 on gold. My opponent has the second TC. Let me see what else he has in his base. I just want to get an idea. Okay, so 2 TCs, core storehouse. Okay, that's what he has going on. Come back down to my side of the neck of the woods, yeah. So the reason I built this manor here, just in case anyone was wondering whether you are or not, it's within the sphere of my Lancaster castle, so it allows it to shoot. And my thought process is it actually helps to protect my wood villagers, so that was the reason I ended up throwing that one right there. So current split: 13 food, 12 gold. See my opponent trying to start walling off, and you see I actually have some Demi Lancers starting to make their way and move up towards my opponent. So my idea is to try to use the Demi Lancers to do a little bit of harassment and age up from there is the thought process. So speed up a little bit more. I'm trying to get up here and stop this bad boy from building. Didn't end up getting that knucklehead, unfortunately. So, aging up as we speak. I'm going up to 3. Lost my scout. Didn't get the 1 worker, unfortunately. And I'm like, alright, let me get out of here. I don't want to lose the 1 Demi Lancers that is low on health. So 10 on food, 6 on wood, 7 on gold. And now I'm trying to drop down some production. There we are. I'm like, okay, let me get them out of there. Just getting some economic upgrades. Let me slow things down. Along with Collar of Esses, so also getting some upgrades from my what's it called? From my King's College. Okay, so now dropped monastery. Want to see if I could get done. Get him up out of there. Like I'm trying to get. Like, all right, I got 1. So that's where we're at right now. Have some knights popping out. And now, as you can see, making my way and looking at these relics as well. So trying to get out on the map, get some relics. And my opponent is getting ready to go up to age 3 himself. So that's where we're at right now, ladies and gents. 37 workers, or I should say 37 villagers, compared to my opponent's how many? 47. He is 2 TC. So he has me beat by 10 villagers at this point in time. Not good business at all. Okay, so getting ready to get some black cap. Not quite yet. Archery range is going up. Archery range. Okay, I don't see any barracks yet. Nothing too crazy at this point in time. Okay. So, didn't get much done on my opponent. Unfortunately, I got one villager basket at this point. Only took one off the map. The other one got away. Lost some horses, unfortunately. Some demi-lancers. Haven't lost any knights yet, but lost some demi-lancers. And now I'm just trying to get some production out. My opponent just hit castle. I have 7 idle villagers. Don't know where they're idle at and why they're idle, but unfortunately, they are. Still haven't gotten my second manor upgrade, so I'm still sitting at 3 manors. Unfortunately, villagers are no longer idle, so that's a good thing. And still trying to see if there's anything around to get done anywhere. Okay, that's a good thing. I would say that's a pretty decent pickoff. That was about 6, maybe 7 workers. It was something, y'all. I was like, okay, let me get them up out of here. Okay, second manor upgrade is done, so I can drop 6 of those now. Current split, 12, 13, 11, and 4. I'm dropping those additional 3 manors. Okay, getting a few things done. And I lost all my... yeah, don't be like me, y'all. Be better. Lost all of my cavalry. All of my knights are down. So, I'm like, alright, let me go out here and start grabbing some deer. I have to start making some farms. Because I have these idle villagers that are running out of food, and where that berry patch was at. But the pickoff was decent. I got a decent chunk of villagers, but I then ended up trading and losing all of my expensive cavalry, which is never good. So I'm dropping my own second town center, and I'm dropping that, as you can see, down here, near this little wood patch, food patch, and then trying to secure some of this deer as well. So that's what's going on now. I'm floating quite a bit of resources, unfortunately. I've only grabbed 1 relic at this moment in time as well. How many did my opponent get? Curious. If any. Maybe there is none thus far. Okay. Okay. So I got 1. So, that's what's going on there. And like my thought process was like, okay, let me start actually getting some blacksmith upgrades, because I don't have any at this point in time, and I'm like, let me start diversifying and actually getting some more different kinds of units. Because right now, like that, I saw that those pikemen that he had, or spearmen I should say, those got rid of my knights very, very quickly, a little bit earlier. So I'm like, alright, let me start building a few more different unit variations other than just knights, right? So I have another priest that I have rallied to go start getting all of the sacred sites. Get them up out of there. I'm like, I gotta go. Trying not to lose anything else there that I don't need to lose. And as you can see, I am just starting to get upgrades as well as veterancy upgrades. And then just trying to keep different units in production, to say the least. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, huh? So I'm like, I'll come and I'll flank around with those horses that I have, you see on the mini map coming, and I'm like, all right, let me just be prepared to take this fight. Be prepared to take this fight, y'all. So that was the thought process. And I felt like this was a decent engagement that I pulled off and did, to say the least. Nothing crazy, but it's something. There we go. Like, alright, I got something. So, still producing units, as you can see. Knocking out and getting some more upgrades as well. And then now I'm just like, let me start increasing and getting more production. Barracks, archery range, stable. So we're 2 barracks right now, 2 archery ranges, 2 stables, 1 siege workshop, and I have others being dropped down as we speak. So just trying to get active a little bit more and go from there. So not too bad. Still floating a lot of resources, unfortunately. But that's currently where we're at, and that's currently what is taking place. So I'm like, all right, let me get up top and see what's going on at that sacred site over here. Because the plan of action is to finish grabbing all of them. Unfortunately, I only ended up with 1 relic. No, I did end up with 2. Okay. Definitely should have a lot more, but ended up with 2. So that's what we have going on thus far, ladies and gents. 7 idle villagers. Don't be like me, be better. 13 idle, 6 idle. Like, yo, it's crazy. But all in all, I feel like I'm in a pretty decent position. I feel like I have decent control of the game, decent control of the map thus far. 15 idle villagers. No bueno. But that's where we're at. So, middle sacred, while taking the middle sacred, trying to drop down that castle, as you can see. Or maybe you didn't see it, but trying to drop down the castle, cover sacred, go up here and get that other sacred site. Trying to knock out and grab some more siege. So we got some more springolds coming, another mega nail coming. And I'm attempting to take the 3rd and final sacred site as well. Idle villagers, a lot of those. Okay. Looks like I'm sending them over there to the stone, it looks like. I think I ended up getting him out of there. Okay, yeah, I think I did get him out of there in time. Remember seeing those units coming, I'm like, I'm trying to get my boy up out of there. That's where we're at there, so have some more stone. And I'm like, alright, let me try to start securing these different entry points and exit points. Just to save myself from any flanks and anything like that is the thought process. So I'm aging up with the Wingard Palace, ladies and gents. That's what the age 4 landmark I decided to go with. Still a lot of idle villagers, unfortunately. Very, very big con that I struggle with a lot. A lot, y'all. So my thought process was like, okay. Don't know why I have individuals inside here. Didn't even realize it was actual units. Alright. Just had idle things, unfortunately. So the age up is almost done. Let's take a quick little gander over here. Got stone walls going up here, stone walls going up here. I'm just trying to stone wall everything all the way across just to stop any places from, you know, my opponent actually coming inside. It's the thought process. So speed up a little bit just for a moment in time. It's like, oh, look at this knucklehead. I was like, okay, let's keep him off of my stuff, y'all. I don't care if it's a scout or not. Keep him off of my stuff. It's like, okay, let me pull individuals back. So saw individuals over there, and I'm like, all right, let's see what we can get done, if anything. And yeah. I got a ton of food, ton of wood, a little bit of gold, a little bit of stone. Unfortunately, things are not as amazing as they should be, to say the least, y'all. So I'm like, oh, wow. That's a lot. Alright, that's a whole lot. So I'm like, alright, let me start getting more production in. Was like, let me just cancel that, what's it called? That castle. So let me just cancel that so I don't waste the resources and start pulling units back. So he ended up just having a lot, as y'all saw, right? And at that point, I'm like, what are we doing? So get them up out of there. And I don't think I have this castle even upgraded yet, like with any real upgrades, so I could have did a lot more damage to those units had the castle been upgraded. But I'm like, let me just start building the walls before he ends up coming across. Yeah. Nasty business. So I'm like, alright, here he comes. I'm like, let me just forget about that and get them up out of there. I'm like, I need more gold. Like, I need a lot more gold, to say the least. So I'm like, alright, well, at least let me build that wall, and go from there. So, that's what we have going on right now. Get them up out of there. Like, I'm trying to do something worthwhile here. Doesn't seem like it's much, unfortunately. And I'm sitting with 10 idle villagers. So we have three-fourths of the wall completed. I'm talking about in the front. I believe the only part of the wall, and we'll take a look after this battle finishes, but the only part of the wall that's not done is this one right here. All the rest of them look like they're done. So at this point in time, I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm in a favorable position, right? Like, I held off that attack. I think I'm somewhere worthwhile. And then I'm like, all right, they're trying to get ready to come through here. So I'm feeling pretty confident, right? Like, I'm feeling okay at this point. But we'll see how things turn out. And I'm like, all right, well, let me get the rest of that wall completed, put together now. And then let's get ready for this engagement, because here they come. Not here they come, here he comes over here as well. So I'm like, alright, I should be able to eat this up. Army doesn't look too crazy. Should be able to cook in more ways than one, right? Nice siege, nice concave, nice engagement, surface area. I'm like, I feel like we got something, y'all. I feel like I'm cooking. Now I gotta get over here and get some more gold. Missing out on gold. Missing out on food. Like, your boy is hungry. Ton of wood. I should have been dropping down farms out the yazoo at this point. With all of those different wood villagers, but here we are. So, took a good engagement, won a little something. Felt like I was in a favorable position, yo, and that's where we're at. Dropping more production. I just realized the amount of stone that I had, and I'm like, well, I probably should have just engaged and went right in. I should have just engaged and went straight in right then and there, y'all. So, looking at my stone. And I should have just kept rallying units straight on through. So, getting that stone wall back up, just trying to cover any additional surface area where he could or come in. Unfortunately, I still have not gotten my final manor upgrade. Didn't get the final manor upgrade to get nine in total, nor did I get the manor tech to get gold. So a lot of things that definitely should have been done a lot better in that regard. Crazy business. Crazy business. Okay. So I'm looking amazing with wood, just not looking amazing with everything else. Now, here's where I can already tell I done made a mistake, y'all. My siege, as we remember, is way up front by itself. I'm pretty sure this is going to get bad. My siege is not protected. So I'm not building units. I'm finally getting my final manor upgrade. I'm getting silk bowstrings. So I already have fire arrows, getting silk bowstrings. Making out some garrison command as well. Trying to get some more stone just so I can resecure and get castles. But look what happens. And at this moment in time, this is where things got bad. That's definitely where things got bad, right then and there, y'all. Oh, nasty business. Nasty business, y'all. Don't be like me, be better. So, manor upgrade is done. I can finally get the manors, which is amazing. But I just gave away a lot of siege that I did not need to give away. Now I'm like, alright, I gotta pull things back. Gotta get ready for another fight. Guess who's low on gold? All of the wood in the world, no food, no gold. The two things that I need more than anything. 24 workers on wood, and I'm still managed to not have enough farms to have food, and I'm still low on gold, right? Crazy. Another thing that I should have had at this point in time, and I don't know if I do or not, a market. Like, their trade should have been established. If anything, to have a market just to be able to buy and sell things. I have too much wood. Alright, neither here nor there, so let's take a look at what I'm doing. Finally dropping some, what's it called? Sacrificing units. Don't know where they're going or why I'm sending them over there. Probably misclick. This stage, I know things are dire, to say the least. Still missing out on level 3 economic upgrades. So that's the food upgrade. What about wood? Wood, working on level 3 now. Food, working on number 3 now. Getting my manor upgrade to start getting gold from manors. What about refinery? Still level 2. So there's a lot of things that could have been crazy, y'all. Okay, market's finally going down. Nice. I need units. Lots and lots of units. Lots and lots of units. And I'm like, okay. It's about to go down. 8 manners out of 9. Good. That's a plus. Finally getting gold from my nanners. Good. I'm like, alright, I gotta back up. This is about to get ugly. He's about to show up and show out. Upgrades. Great. But definitely nowhere near the amount of gold or food that I need at all. Not only gold and food, units. Nowhere near the amount of units that I need. Look at this, y'all. It's nasty business. Nasty business. Still producing units. 19 idle villagers. Crazy business, y'all. At this point, I'm like, alright. That over there. So I got units not participating in nothing. Like, golly, get over there and help. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like, alright, I defended that unexpectedly. Amazing. And it's just like, okay, wow. Why does he have so many more units, y'all? And they just keep coming. And they just keep coming. Here I am sacrificing and losing siege again, unfortunately. And now I'm just like, ay, ay, ay. Nasty business, y'all. Nasty business. 19 idle villagers, 20 idle villagers. Terrible. Out of food, still. No food, low on gold, but I got all of the stone and all of the wood in the world, things that I do not need. So some things to take away, right? As this game is wrapping up. Let's actually see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. I'm pretty sure I get overwhelmed at this point. I do not remember for sure, but it's safe to say, like, he's inside now, and I'm pretty sure he's not leaving. Pretty sure he's not going anywhere. It's like I genuinely gave this game away in more ways than one. Just the micro, the macro, I gave away a lot of units. Like, I donated a lot of units, y'all. To say the least. Gave away a lot of units. I should have been dropping that down and getting farms a lot sooner, right? Crazy. I'm like, here he comes again. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Idle villagers, idle villagers, idle villagers, y'all. I donated this game to him, and I did not have to lose this at all. Um, nasty business. Um, nasty business. So let's take a quick little recap and quick little look at the stats. We won't see that here. Once this loading screen ends, there we are. We can take a look and see what happened there. This one, I think that was... No, not Tri-Arabia. Was that Rocky River? That was Rocky River. Okay. Take a quick little gander just to see what ended up taking place. So total score had a better overall score than him. Yet again, deceiving. None of that matters if you don't win. Overall better economy, overall better technology, overall better society. A lot more I knocked off, lost a lot less than him, took down a lot more buildings, and yet still, right, I got cooked. I want to see, let me see, food wise, he was cooking, wood wise, yeah, because of course I needed all of this wood and stone. Even gold wise, apparently I was doing better, but I was low on gold. This is what I wanted to see. I hit age 2 before him. I hit age 3. Oh, sheesh. Pretty much close to 3 minutes before him, and I still only walked away with 2 relics, y'all. Nasty business. Age 4, I hit that, 5 minutes? 5, 6 minutes before him, and still nothing worthwhile. More research, but my army size was lacking. And what else? 92 villager high. So I only had 92 compared to his 115, and he still walked away with more relics than I did. That's what I wanted to see as well. So let's talk about pros and cons, right? Pros. I feel like I had very good map presence. I was being active on the map. I was taking my horses around, even if I didn't get a lot of damage done. I was literally picking off decent chunks of villagers here and there. I had that one big patch that I got in the back left corner of his base where I got about 6 or 7 of them where they were building the wall. But instead of that translating into something good, I then turned around and lost all 7, 8. I will say there was about 4 demi lancers and maybe about 5, 3 or 4 knights. So I lost all of them for nothing, right? So all of those villager baskets that I walked away with were irrelevant at that point in time. I got 2 relics. I won't even put that into pros. Because he ended up with 3, and I ended up going up to age 3, 2, 3 minutes before him. So that's nothing to be proud of. What else? The one pro. So the one pro is map presence. I feel like I did good with map presence. Another thing, I feel like I took some decent engagement. So for example, purpose. When I picked off a few more of those workers in the middle when he was trying to set up near the sacred site, and he had those 2 outposts up, and I finished off that fight and took out a lot of not only villagers there, but took out his army there as well. I feel like I was doing decently, right? So map presence, decent engagements. What else? Um, from a pro standpoint, that's probably the only two things. Unfortunately, I can't think of anything else that was decent, right? Let's dive into the cons. Con number one, this is translated from game to game, and I'm still struggling with it, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Idle villagers, right? That's nasty business. Like, and I don't have idle villagers just for 5 and 6 seconds at a time. My average idle villager time, y'all, was 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Like, that's crazy. I've had games where it was longer. I've had games where it's shorter, but it's like I don't know. I don't know, right? I'm trying to be conscious of it, and I just struggle at times with actually doing the right thing. Secondly, after the idle villagers, villager production. So bear in mind he did have two TCs longer than I did. It was a 40+ minute game, so 40+ minute game to only have 92 villagers. No bueno. At all, right? So idle villagers, um, lack of villager production. What else? Um, just miss macro. Let me start there. We'll get to the micro in a second, but miss macro. I should not have had all of that stone and all of that wood and suffered with food and gold. I was floating over 2K wood and I didn't have any food, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah. So nasty business. Another thing that I should have did a lot sooner, I should have dropped the market because even with that added additional wood and stone, I could have been selling that and buying other things. Even if the macro was off, in regards to villager splits, I could have had the market to buy and sell things. Didn't do that. What else? Oh, another pro. Just while I'm thinking about it, pro wise, I had a lot of upgrades. I out upgraded him, as we saw, not only in the game but in the stats. But none of that matters if you don't have the army size to take fights. So that was yet again miss macro, miss micro. I literally donated like 7 or 8 different siege. Right, there was what four catapults that were donated and maybe like another 6 or 7 springolds, and that was just in one fight. You know what I mean? Like, so I just donating a lot of units with poor micro. So poor macro, poor micro. What else? What else? What else? What else? Nothing else I can think of at this moment in time. Yeah, man, just frustrated. That was a game that should have been mine, in more ways than one. And yeah, it didn't translate like that, like it should have, but it is what it is, right? So just try to take that into next game and do better from there. But that's overall what we're looking at, y'all. Yet again, at the time of this recording, I was a gold 3. At the time of this recording, my opponent was a gold 3 as well. And I just threw away that game, to say the least. So with that being said, ladies and gents, definitely feel free to like, follow, follow. I can't say follow because this is a YouTube video. Definitely feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, just to get notified every time a new video drops. Also, check the description down below. The very first link that you will see will be the link to the accompanying blog post for this video that will take you over to mygamingjourney.com, where you'll be able to see the additional accompanying information for this video. In the description tab as well, you will see the links for not only mygamingjourney.com, but because I stream on mygamingjourney.com, but I also stream on Twitch and Kick. So you can definitely go ahead and tune in over there. Now over there, feel free to follow, subscribe, of course, just so you can get notified when I go live on that side as well. And tune in with me live, and we can, go through and get into games together, right? In the comment section below, definitely, this is for y'all. I'm aiming to get better. So leave your comments below, questions, comments, concerns, tips, tricks, any feedback that you have. The only two things that I ask: number one, remain respectful. Number one. Number two, keep things on topic, right? I want to keep things focusing on the game here, nothing else. Okay, so remain respectful, keep things on topic, give me your feedback below, and yeah, man, and the aim is to get better and go from there. With that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. God willingly, we can do this again. Definitely feel free to come and check me out live. And yeah, wherever you're at in the world, take care. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And I appreciate y'all.